Why do so many women today assert that they don't require a guy because they are fiercely independent? Why would a man need a woman if he employs a maid and a prostitute and has pals who don't want children? Because many of them do believe that their value is connected to their bodies, it's really simple to persuade them to believe so. No woman is taught how to do those things when you take away their bodies and all the other necessities, like cooking and cleaning. The topic of today's lady game, keeping a man away from sex, is so bizarre. The girl game of today is the same as the guy game of seducing a man. Obtaining a man like you is not a trick. You are naturally drawn to guys since you are a woman. It is a natural rule. Learning how to attract guys is a waste of time because that isn't the fundamental issue that women are dealing with. How many women criticize males for being this or that? It's because getting them into your dem is so simple. Athletes will approach you if you present well. On dating apps, there are many males to pick from. Simply to let you know they exist, sissies will send you money. You thought you were learning how to keep men, but you're not. You were not taught this. Women weren't taught how to play this game, maintain a man, obtain the ring, or entice a man to return by your grandmother or great-grandmother. After sex, women have nothing else to offer save their bodies, which they freely give up. The man believes that she is nothing exceptional and that I have added another notch to my belt. After women give up their bodies in the same way and are unable to perform any tasks that men would find appealing and feminine, such as cooking, cleaning, or being subservient, it's like a roulette wheel for men and women. The sexual revolution is the main cause of our dire circumstances, if there is one. According to film author Indra Nooyi, the women's liberation movement abolished established gender norms. Its purpose was to liberate both men and women by removing the constraints society put on their behavior. Nooyi contends that these factors make the technique outmoded and that it no longer serves its intended purpose. Playing a woman is the first step in this process. Individuals can then pick their own identity because all culture is learned. Making up one's own gender identity is one technique to achieve this. Women cannot play any games today. Something older women have passed down to us. This is a result of older ladies and younger women fighting for the same good men. Reflect about it, whether you are competing with a man in his 30s, 40s, or 50s. If you're a woman in your 40s or 50s looking for a man, and you've picked up some information along the way, you're not going to impart it on these young 20-year-olds who are pursuing your men and trying to take them, considering that the guy will desire a younger woman. After 30, you're essentially out of the game. You're too old, and that's a hard fact to accept. If you're over 30 and still waiting for a ring and a man to take care of you so you can live in a traditional household, you've already lost if you didn't use your feminine power while it was at its strongest. And you most definitely won't teach a young woman the proper manner, because the man you want to start a family with is being stolen by that young woman. In order to mold a younger lady into the kind of woman he desires, he seeks out younger women. He doesn't desire a woman over the age of 30 who has experienced hardship and is currently looking for a new mount. He is not interested in dealing with the baggage that dating culture has ingrained in a woman's mind. This is why so many women over the age of 30 have suffered harm, and men who are wise and mature can see it coming a mile off and say, nah, put her back on the shelf and let someone else grab her up and handle it. Men are reluctant to commit to women for this reason. We all appreciate youth, beauty, and having your body all to ourselves. Regardless of whether you agree with it, that is something a man can be proud of. Until women discover how to keep a guy content, dedicated, and faithful, a man must earn his worth and become a man in a woman's eyes. Women will continue to be dropped and removed from the romantic roulette table. Women are mistreated. We are the weaker sex and have no control over the situation. Although unfair, this is the case. Many females believe they must endure some form of sexual harassment. Not just men engage in this behavior. Women are sometimes just as wicked as men. There are also many women who don't seem to mind being harassed because they believe it's necessary to do so in order to succeed in life, even when it's not. You have the right to decline and to be respected in return. Women must defend themselves, particularly when a person in a position of authority, such as a professor, professor's assistant, or supervisor, targets them. The greatest advice is to talk things out with someone you can trust. You therefore don't feel alone. Even with women's inherent femininity, it doesn't fit. This is the primary cause of depression in women. This explains why mental health issues are so prevalent in women. When you're 35 years old, killing it at work, and then you're told you have to freeze your eggs because you'd rather remain at home and raise a family than work in the corporate world, the clock is ticking. But once you're ready to settle down and establish a family, you can't go back and change your decision because guys won't view you the same way. A real woman, like you, had cobwebs on her back growing up. Men didn't bust their asses and work tirelessly to succeed in life. Someone who needs fertility treatments or must freeze her eggs in order to become pregnant. Perhaps those cobwebs are worthwhile if you're a woman who has had to fend for herself in the fields, carry water on your head, or scrape by with your children on Byron's meager wages. She needs a man of this kind who will always be there for her. She requires a partner who will accept her for who she is, not someone who will force her to remove those cobwebs just to make her feel guilty later. I'm done for today.